So we got our coffee. I didn't film an outro to yesterday's vlog, so that's great. So this is the introduction to day 2. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers. As we're walking, gonna trip on a curb.
I'm gonna spill hot coffee.
We're going to Tesco right now because Caitlin needs, what do you even need anymore? I forgot.
Mascara.
Oh yeah, she got her mascara, and then on top of that, she broke her face wash, so.
It's stupid.
Yeah, fun times. Yeah, I saw the milk go in that.
Oh.
So,
Then we need a lactate.
So what do you think of the weather here?
It's beautiful.
I love it because it's very like mild.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get too hot here, it doesn't get too cold. It's like very, very nice. It's like spring all the time. Pretty sure there's a really bad glare because of the sun behind us, but it's fine. I'm hoping to be a better vlogger today because we have actual stuff to vlog. Yesterday we kind of just got here. And then after we got here, it was kind of just like put things down, go, 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 like quick tour, dinner, home. So hopefully today will be a little less choppy, but I can't promise anything. Well, that was a bust. They didn't have anything. I don't know why I thought Tesco would have more than that. I thought Tesco was more of like a CVS. That's kind of what I thought Tesco was, but apparently I was wrong.
I thought they would have like an elf or something.
Yeah.
I guess they have elf here.
Yeah, they do. Just not there. But it's okay because we're gonna go shopping later on Oxford Street, and then we're gonna go to Primark. So I'm excited for Primark. I'm sure you'll see plenty of footage from that, but I'm so excited for today. We have like a full-on tour, like a bus tour and everything, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. And there's a kid playing with pigeons. I love London, it's great.
Like and subscribe.
This is gonna be every day. Just pops out of the bathroom.
It's
like
every day, bro.
It's every day, bro. Yeah, so check out Caitlin's channel that she'll be starting, like, you know.
Check out my channel that I have no intention of putting a video on.
If we can get her to 300 subscribers. JK. Caitlin. Look at this one. Oh, yeah.
That means
Guys, look on your left-hand side. There is a church coming into view with a sort of green spire, which is called All Hallows by the Tower. And for you Americans on board, William Penn, we'll do it right here. William Penn, who was the Quaker founder of the state of Pennsylvania, you can turn right here, buses are okay. He was baptized in this church. And John Quincy Adams, who was one of your early US presidents, was married in this church. So a lot of your early revolutionary leaders, you Americans on board, have very, very strong ties to this country, you know. Our country was kind of unified for many, many years. So guys, what we're going to do first of all is for the first time today, cross over the river that flows through London. We're going to be doing this a few times today, crossing over this river. And our first crossing is going to be in a couple of moments. Who can tell me the name of the river that flows through London? The River Thames, exactly, the River Thames. And the River Thames is the longest river in this country. 215 miles long. Look left and look up and you're going to see a very tall stone monument with a flaming golden ball of fire on top. Not everyone's going to see this straight away, but second time round you will. Just coming into view on the left hand side. That is the tallest stone monument in this country. And it's a memorial to a disaster. And the memorial or monument is to the Great Fire of London of 1666. And it began on September 2nd, 1666. It's one of the great dates in this country's history. Those of you on the left-hand side have got a pretty good view of that. This is only the most recent of them. It dates back to 1973. But there has been a London Bridge on this very site since Roman times for 2,000 years. The bridge that was here before this one, the old London Bridge, was a much more elegant bridge, however. It was covered in shops and houses. It was the sort of bridge you might expect to see in somewhere like Italy, in Florence, like the Ponte Vecchio, or the Rialto Bridge in Venice, that kind of bridge. Look at the next bridge downstream, and that, I can almost guarantee, is the bridge you are thinking of as London Bridge in your mind's eye. Look to your left-hand side, look downstream, down the river, and you will see the bridge you are perhaps thinking of as London Bridge. There it is. And that bridge, guys, to be technical, is Tower Bridge, because it stands next to the Tower of London where we've just come from. And maybe it's because it's got those beautiful granite stone towers in the middle. It's a bridge which opens up in the middle. Very unusual type of bridge. It's called a bascule bridge, to allow tall ships to sail underneath. Fabulous bridge. Took 8 years to build, 420 men to build it. It's 800 feet across. And only 10 men died when it was being built, which was a kind of, everyone was high-fiving at the time. You know, it's a health and safety disaster now, but that was deemed a success back in those days. Guys, look between us, London Bridge and Tower Bridge, that grey military vessel. It's called HMS Belfast, because it was built in Belfast, which is the capital of Northern Ireland, in 1935. Now this is a warship, it's a cruiser, and it served on D-Day for Canadians on board. This served on Juno Beach, which was one of the 5 beaches in operation that day. The Canadian beach was Juno Beach, and it protected Canadian soldiers landing on Juno Beach. Brilliant. So that was, guys, London Bridge, and the river we crossed over was the River Thames, right? Longest river in this country. Guys, look to your right hand side. Look at this beautiful cathedral coming into view. It's called Southwark Cathedral. Next set of lights will do it right, please, John. Beautiful church, which I think often gets overlooked by St Paul's Cathedral and Westminster Abbey, the 2 big churches in London, but nevertheless very, very beautiful in its own right. And it's one of the only churches outside of England where services are said and sung in the Welsh language. Beautiful Celtic language. The Romans never invaded Wales, so they were able to keep their own language and traditions.
Along with Westminster Abbey, guys, which we're going to get a cheeky little glimpse of later, St Paul's Cathedral is really one of the truly great churches of this city and of this country. And it's a church that took 35 years to build. It was begun in 1675, and it was, bless you, and it was completed in the year 1710. So 35 years was a very, very quick time back in those days.
Now, this is the oldest part of London. The Romans would have walked on this land 2,000 years ago, and yet we look around and we see so many modern buildings. And the reason there are so many modern buildings in London is down to the bombs that fell here during World War II. Wherever you see a modern building now, it's a pretty safe bet that the reason that modern building is here is that a much older building that used to be there was blown to bits during World War II. Yeah, here's the Harry Potter Bridge again, if you didn't catch it first time. Here's the modern City of London School where Daniel Radcliffe went. But look, old buildings, left and right, you know, you won't see that in Paris, you know, it'll either be all old or it'll be all new. We're going to head towards Buckingham Palace now to see the end of a ceremony which at this time of year takes place every day, right? In June and July, the summer months, it's every day. Out of season, it's every 2 days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, but the changing of guard at this time of year takes place every day. And what we're going to do, guys, is catch the end of it. So we're still inside the City of London, guys. We're still inside the square mile, but very soon, by the side of the road, to the left and to the right, you're going to see silver dragons. Silver dragons, or just dragons, not necessarily silver, are all over London. The dragon was the symbol of the protector of wealth and prosperity in medieval times. So you'll very often see dragons either by the side of the road or in the middle of the road. Now the significance of the dragon is that it's telling you whether you're going into or leaving the City of London. Whenever you see the face of the dragon first, you know you're going into the city. But whenever you see the tail of the dragon first, as we're about to do, you know you are leaving the City of London. Once upon a time, the Romans built a wall around their city. Do you remember I showed you a tiny part of it when we were at the Tower of London? The wall doesn't really exist anymore, but instead, marking the perimeter of where the wall used to be are dragons. And here we see a couple. You see on our right and to our left, right? Just coming up, we see the back, we see the tail of the dragon first. And this is telling us that we are about to cross the invisible divide between the City of London, which is our financial district, and the City of Westminster, which is our royal, political and religious epicenter. Here come the dragons, cross over the divide. Now look at the street signs, any street sign. Look to your right hand side, Victoria Embankment, and underneath it you see what? The words City of Westminster. On your left hand side, guys, this side of the river, guarded by two bronze sphinxes, right on the banks of the river, just coming into view now, is a lump of rock, an obelisk of stone, 3,500 years old. And it's covered in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. That's because it comes from Egypt. And the name of the stone is Cleopatra's Needle. There is a twin copy of this stone obelisk in Central Park in New York City, by the way. And this was a gift from Egypt to this country in 1798 as a little thank you present for liberating Egypt from Napoleon. Napoleon invades Egypt and the British kick him out, and they give us that as a little thank you present. Look at the wheel on the other side of the river. Fabulous thing to do as a suggestion on your remaining days in London. This is the London Eye, one of the newest additions to the London skyline. It was built in the year 2000 for the new millennium. Its official name is the Millennium Wheel, just like the Millennium Bridge we saw, the Harry Potter Bridge, one of several structures built across the city to celebrate the new millennium. Guys, on our right hand side, you can see the entrance, slow down as best you can, John. On the right hand side, on the other side of the road, the entrance to Downing Street. You see the black iron railings. You can't walk down that street, but Downing Street is the street. And as you look down Downing Street, look on your right hand side, halfway down the road on your right hand side, you will see a charcoal grey building. Don't see it very well, but it's there, and it's called number 10 Downing Street. And this is the official residence of the Prime Minister of this country. But meanwhile, guys, look now, keep looking left to the much, much larger church behind it. And this, guys, is the magnificent Westminster Abbey. Along with St Paul's Cathedral, which we've already seen, Westminster Abbey is really the other most important church in London. And it's a lot older than St Paul's Cathedral. You can tell just by looking at it. If St Paul's Cathedral is 1700s and therefore Baroque in architecture, this is 100% Gothic. And it dates back to 1258. The first stones, the first foundations of this church date back to 1258.
Canadian bear skin. Traditionally made of Canadian bear skin.
Oh,
They tend to be a little bit on the fuzzy side.
okay, okay.
They've got to wear them all.
We're going with you guys. We're right here, yeah. Yeah, I wanted a picture through the gate, so I went over there.
I'm the true sight.
I was like, where'd you go?
That same evening.
Trying to marry me? Excuse you. Rude.
You need some background balls.
Huh?
You need background balls.
And I Get it, Caitlin. My actual leg. Just throw it on camera. That didn't even. Try again until you hit it. And you gotta hit like that. Yeah, good. Oh, this one's harder to get up in. This is a very like non-cohesive vlog. I don't even know what's happening. Last time we were at Volleyballerson and now we're just like casually in Piccadilly Circus.
We teleported.
We did. We're good like that. That's this whole trip of us just teleporting and montages of different like things we're filming. So
There's like a meet.
that's fun. I'm trying International McFlurries, and this one is the Aero Chocolate McFlurry. I'm pretty sure they gave me Oreo. This one's the Aero.
This one's Oreo.
That one was supposed to be Cadbury, but it's not, and now we gotta meet our tour director, so that's not fine. So this one's the Aero, but this one looks like Cadbury. I don't know.
There's a language barrier. How's that one?
Pretty good. I give it 1 thumb up because that one's wrong, so. Actually gonna go ahead and end the vlog. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. I know it was probably very like all over the place and I look really disgusting, but tomorrow is technically our free day, but we actually have some stuff planned. But yeah, we're gonna go hang out in London our last full day here and then off to Paris. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Remember to like and subscribe to Amber's channel. I'm tired.
Say goodnight, Caitlin.
Good night.